8 crops that attract worms fast and build humus like crazy. Fellow soil lovers, welcome back to Soil Sage Chronicles. If you've been following my journey, you already know I'm obsessed with building rich, black, crumbly soil that smells like the forest floor after rain. It's not just about growing plants, it's about growing soil. And one of the best ways to do that is by inviting earthworms into your garden and feeding them well. Worms are like little underground gardeners, breaking down organic matter and leaving behind worm castings, pure humus gold. Now here's the kicker. You don't always need to buy expensive amendments to get there. You can grow your own worm and humus factories right in your garden. Certain crops act like magnets for earthworms and fuel the rapid creation of organic matter. Today, I'm sharing 8 crops you can plant to supercharge your soil with worms and humus in record time. Let's dig in, literally. 1. Alfalfa, the worm banquet crop. If you've never grown alfalfa in your garden, you're missing out on one of the ultimate worm-feeding machines. Alfalfa's deep roots loosen compacted soil, pulling up minerals and leaving behind organic channels for worms to travel through. When you cut alfalfa down, the leaves and stems break down fast, releasing nitrogen-rich organic matter that worms devour. You can chop and drop it as mulch, or till it lightly into the soil. Either way, worms swarm to it like kids at a candy store. Experienced gardeners also love alfalfa meal as a soil amendment, but why not grow the real thing? With a couple of cuttings per season, you'll be feeding your soil continuously. For those of us gardening in warm climates, cowpeas, also called black-eyed peas, are lifesavers. These legumes thrive in heat where other crops sulk, and here's the real secret. Their roots form symbiotic relationships with nitrogen-fixing bacteria. That means they enrich the soil both above and below ground. Worms flock to their decaying roots and the steady drip of nitrogen they provide, and when the season is over, you can chop the whole plant down and leave it as mulch. Within weeks, your soil will be crawling with life. Cowpeas are proof that you don't need to choose between growing food and feeding the soil. You can do both at once. Daikon radish, sometimes called the soil drill. If your soil feels like concrete, Daikon radish is about to become your best friend. These long, thick roots act like natural drills, penetrating deep into compacted layers. When they decompose, they leave behind big air pockets, perfect worm tunnels. Even if you never eat a single radish, the soil benefits are priceless. As the radish breaks down, worms move in to recycle that soft, spongy organic matter into humus. Here's a tip: plant daikon in fall and let the frost kill the tops. Come spring, the decomposed roots will have transformed your soil into a worm highway. Sunflowers aren't just cheerful faces in the garden, they're soil builders too. Their massive roots pump sugars into the soil, feeding microbes that in turn attract worms. After the season, chop the stalks and lay them down as mulch. They're carbon-rich, which balances the nitrogen from other green crops. Worms love chewing through the softer parts, and the rest slowly transforms into humus. Plus, the shade and moisture sunflowers provide create a microclimate where worms can thrive even in hotter months. If you want a cover crop that's as beautiful as it is beneficial, crimson clover is the way to go. Its lush growth smothers weeds while fixing nitrogen and feeding worms. When you chop it down, it decomposes quickly, creating a soft, nutrient-rich mulch layer worms will wiggle right into. Even the roots, once they die back, become worm food and leave behind valuable organic matter. Plant crimson clover in fall or early spring, and you'll notice your soil texture improving within just one season. Sometimes we gardeners are impatient. We want results fast. That's where buckwheat shines. It grows quickly, producing lots of biomass in just 30 to 40 days. When cut and left on the soil, it breaks down rapidly, feeding worms almost immediately. What I love about buckwheat is its ability to loosen the topsoil and make phosphorus more available. Worms feed on its tender stems, and within weeks you'll see their castings multiplying. Buckwheat is the crop to grow if you want a quick soil building reset between main plantings. Kale, the overlooked soil builder. Yes, kale is a superfood for humans, but did you know it's a superfood for worms too? Its thick, leafy biomass adds a steady trickle of organic matter to the soil throughout the season. When older leaves yellow, don't toss them out, drop them right onto the soil. Worms will drag them under and recycle them into humus. Kale roots also break down slowly after harvest, providing long-term worm snacks underground. If you're growing kale for your own plate, think of it as double-duty food for you and food for the soil too. Finally, let's talk about rye. This cold-hardy cover crop keeps the soil protected over winter while feeding worms steadily. Its dense root system creates a habitat for microbial life, which worms rely on for food. Come spring, you can chop it down and let it mulch in place. Rye is high in carbon, so pair it with a nitrogen-rich companion like vetch for the ultimate worm feast. Year after year, rye builds up a thick layer of humus that improves water retention, structure, and fertility. Worms thrive in its residue like nothing else. The beauty of growing these 8 crops is that you're not just passively waiting for soil to improve, you're actively farming your worms and humus. Each crop adds a unique benefit, whether it's nitrogen, organic matter, root tunnels, or shade. Together, they create a living, breathing soil ecosystem. When I first started experimenting with these crops in my own garden, I was amazed at how quickly the worm population exploded. Within one season, I went from struggling clay to soil that crumbled in my hands. The transformation is real, and it's within your reach too. So, here's my challenge for you. Pick 2 of these crops and plant them in your garden this season. Watch how the worms respond. Track how your soil feels before and after. And most importantly, share your results with me. If this guide has inspired you to start growing your own worm-friendly crops, don't forget to subscribe to Soil Sage Chronicles and share this article with a fellow gardener. Together, we can spread the knowledge of building soil that truly lives. Because at the end of the day, gardening isn't just about what we grow above ground, it's about the life we nurture below.